Welcome to Two Cooks in the Kitchen. Today's adventure will be making pork chili verde. This is one of the things that I really enjoy making this time of year. It's one of my favorite meals, and it really lets the poblano peppers shine through in a nice dish that's warm and comforting. So I usually make twice this much, and we freeze it. It freezes well. It's great for lunches and a couple of dinners out of it. But what we're going to do is take about 1.5 pounds of pork. This is allegedly pork shoulder, but we bought half a pig that was cut really strangely. So we're going to cube this up, so it's going to work out quite well. But it doesn't look like pork shoulder usually does. Some kind of tomato, a can. If you can get the crushed tomatoes, that's the best. But this is what we have, so that's what we're gonna use. 1 potato. I'm using this because it's what we have. I would usually use a russet in this, and I think the starch might be a thing. But we'll use this Yukon Gold here for this one, and it's a little smaller too, and I'm only making half a recipe, so it should work out. A couple of carrots. These will be cut up, and actually the potato is going to get peeled and grated, so you're putting grated potato in this. And 4 jalapenos, and I will seed these and chop them up. A couple of serranos, a cherry bomb, whatever combination of heat you want to put in, whatever works for you. Some oregano. Mexican oregano would be nice, but I don't have any, so. And 2 cups of chicken broth. And the star of our show, 6 poblano peppers. And it all starts with 1 big onion. So that's the largest one we have, so it's gonna do just fine. All right, so everything's prepped now, and we're ready to start cooking. I have mixed all together in one bowl the onions, carrots, the jalapenos, serranos, the red one, the bomb, and about 8 cloves of garlic chopped up. And we're gonna put a healthy amount of oil in the bottom of our pan here. And once the oil gets hot, we'll add this bowl of veg. Cook that for about 10 minutes, and then we'll add our meat and oregano and cook that for a while. So I'm just gonna wait for this oil to heat up, and I'm gonna put the veg in there. So this is mostly olive oil in here, and I also added just a little splash of chili oil to give it a little extra kick. So in goes our veg, and you'll notice that I've left these onion chunks pretty large. I like to have a little bite to this when it's done. I don't want everything to just turn to mush, and we're going to cook it for a long time. So the carrots will hold some of their shape. They'll be soft, but they'll still be something you can pick up in your spoon and get a bite of. So we'll let this cook for about 10 minutes, and then we'll come back and add our meat. So as you can see, our veg is cooking up quite nicely here, and it's time to add the meat. I've added to my chunked up meat, I've added 1 teaspoon of oregano. And you'll notice I've left this meat mostly in pretty good sized chunks, because it's nice to get a good bite of the pork when you're digging through a bowl of this stuff. So we're going to cook this for about 20 minutes now. We want this meat to be browned and lose all its pink before we get on to the next part. So we'll just let that do its thing and come back and add the rest of our ingredients. All right, so our meat has been cooking in here for about 20 minutes. You can see it's now no longer pink, and everything's looking nice and cooked up. So we're going to add our chicken stock, 2 cups. and our can of tomatoes. One teaspoon of salt. And our grated potato. And then, you know, you can imagine here, this is probably going to provide quite a bit of thickener to this. So now we've got everything in here except our poblanos. And we're going to let this cook now for about 45 minutes. I'm going to bring it back to a boil and then turn the heat down. And then we'll let all this cook together for about 45 minutes, and then we'll add the poblanos and we'll cook it for a couple hours after that. And we'll have a wonderful, wonderful stew when we get all done. So we've had this cooking along here for about 45 minutes. It's looking pretty good. Got kind of a nice stew going here. So we're gonna add our poblanos, which you see I've cut into small pieces. And we're going to let this simmer. I'm going to put it on a lower burner so it'll simmer a little slower than it has been. But we're going to give us about 2 more hours to let all those flavors marry, and it's just going to be great. All right, so we're ready to dish up, and this is looking really good. Look at all those colors. It's beautiful. We're gonna dish up. We're gonna eat this outside. And we're serving this with cornbread.
Sour cream for me, because it's gonna be spicy.
It's a little spicy. Is that good for you?
That's fine. Oh yeah, it's plenty.
Look at that. Makes a beautiful bowl. We're gonna add some cheddar cheese to this and some sour cream perhaps, and serve it with cornbread. It's gonna be great. So we're dining al fresco with this tonight. We put some cheddar cheese and some sour cream on there. We've got the cornbread, and we're pairing this with a Robert Young 2014 Chardonnay that is really very, very delicious. And you know, the way I like to eat this, you take a piece of cornbread and you put it in there and you get it soaked in it. And then you take a bite that has cornbread and stew and yeah, that's really good. It tastes of chilies. It tastes of summer. It's very good. Thanks for watching Two Cooks in the Kitchen, and we'll see you next time.